Brr. Oh, it's so cold and chilly. David, Hanukkah just ended, but I'm so cold because of all this snow.
Should we do a top 8 movies on their level of use of snow?
Yeah, and I think we nailed the intro too.
I didn't know you were actually going with it.
we're doing movies about snow and coldness, and we decided to do 8 movies for this list to celebrate Hanukkah because we don't have anything else this year that celebrates Hanukkah.
But rather than just making 8 movie or picking 8 movies that have snow in them and ordering them in order of least favorite to most favorite, what we decided to do was rank them in order that the snow is actually used in the movie. Like, so whether or not the snow was used a little bit or if it was used to actually like impact the overall story.
Yeah, and that's not just like quantity; it's also quality. So we want ones that do a good job with the snow.
Good. Yes. Yes.
I would like you, David, to kick off our list with your 8 snowiest flick.
My number 8 is Christopher Nolan's 2002 Insomnia. It takes place in a snowy setting.
I would hope so.
Yeah, no, there's snow in this movie, but it doesn't really utilize the snow the most. Mainly, I forgot we were doing 8 movies on this list, so I added this one at the end. I like this movie a lot. There is snow involved in this movie. This movie plays with daylight a lot better. This made our daylight list. But the snow is not that important to the overall story.
Reusing films from other lists? What are you, me with Fantastic Mr. Fox, like 2 episodes in a row? David, I'm going to kick us off with a very interesting pick. I'm going with Denis Villeneuve's Prisoners. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Oh.
There's not that much snow in this movie, but as it progressively gets colder and colder in the year, so do the actions of the characters within. The coldness matches the inner coldness. Outer coldness and inner coldness are kind of going on like a parallel journey. Similar to how Do the Right Thing and like anger and tension matches with the heat rising, I feel like Prisoners does that a little in a little more subtle of a way with coldness.
Huh.
Wow, that's my pick. Isn't that a weird pick?
That was a weird pick. I was trying to brainstorm. I was like, are there any really good directors that have snow in their movies? And I was like, nope, can't think of any. And then I just moved on. Well, actually, that's how I got Insomnia. But my number 7. Man, that's weird kind of for me. My number 7 is David Fincher's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I think so this is the point of my list where I actually was thinking, because I thought we were doing 7. But I think this movie uses snow in a pretty great way. It also uses it uses the snow in a way to make Daniel Craig's character and then subsequently Rooney Mara's character feel isolated and alone while they're on the grounds of the estate. And it also adds an extra layer and discomfort while they're trekking through the snow or outside walking from building to building or just anything. And it also adds there's the initial buildup of Daniel Craig's characters warming up to the cold, I guess, where he's getting settled in with his new house and having to not just live there, but he has start having a fire going at all times warm the house. I think it's pretty good. It's also a really good movie. I really like the movie.
Hey, David, you ever heard of a small little flick called Star Wars?
Oh, I've heard of it.
It had a sequel, I know, crazy, called The Empire Strikes Back. And the Battle of Hoth fucking slaps. There, I said it. What a controversial opinion I have. Battle of Hoth, really cool. I like Hoth a lot. I think you get multiple different things that make this a very interesting movie with snow in it. You have one, how do you do fights in snow? How do you do completely changing the costume design of both your two main armies that you've kind of established their look in the previous film? Now completely change it to fit a new terrain. You also have environmental challenges that they had to overcome in terms of world building with it. So you have cutting open the Tauntauns. You have your big Yeti monster. I think there's a lot to offer for a cool little world building with some snow. But it's only number 7 because they weren't on Hoth the whole time. So, They did a good amount with the little bit they had. Yada yada,
Like
bada bing, bada boom.
20 minutes.
What's your number
20
6?
whole minutes. Number 7. Love it. My number 6 is Let the Right One In. This is possibly the best vampire movie of all time. And it follows around a...
Oh, dude, you seen Twilight New Moon?
Okay. I mean, I thought that was like a clear exception. But this follows around a young boy who's been bullied, and his encounters and friendships that start to grow as he befriends a neighboring vampire girl. I think setting a vampire movie in a snowy town is so perfect because vampires naturally are just, cold-blooded, cold beings. And also I think just like the...
What do you mean naturally? Vampires aren't real, David.
What are you talking? I've seen the Twilight movies.
No,
Stop.
hold on. No, that's a work of fiction.
No.
Based off a book by Stephanie Meyer.
No. I think you're mistaken. It is a book, but it's
Wait, did you think they were like Santa?
What are you trying to say about Santa?
Well, no, because like Santa's real, but they've done like cool like stories about Santa.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, I mean,
God, that was a
vampires
close
are
one.
real. I also think the aesthetic appeal of blood in snow just looks really good, and a vampire movie, obviously, where
you said like that in the most murder. I'm actually a vampire way you could have.
What?
Man, I like to see the look of the blood in the snow.
Well, there's a lot of gruesome scenes in this movie, and I think the way that the blood is like portrayed with the snow, it's got a really good look to it. I like it. It's really
tasty. Makes my fangs come out of my head.
What's your number 6?
My number 6 is Bong Joon-ho's Snowpiercer.
Oh, nice.
I know. Yeah, it's even got snow in the title. Wow. Basically, you have set in a dystopian future. All of what is left of humanity lives on a train because the rest of the world is so dang cold that you freeze to death within seconds of going outside after some nuclear nightmare. And so you have a lot of like really good class tension and linear storytelling within the rest of the movie, but it's all encompassed by this kind of ever-present snow, as well as like knowledge and information and some of the coldness that humanity itself can have, wrapped in a nice little bundle.
Yeah, I like
and it's
that.
got snow, and it's got snow in the title.
It's got snow in the title. So moving on to my number 5 is I think where we start hitting the movies where the snow not only acts as like a symbol of what's going on around the characters, but starts to interact with the characters and negatively push against them to make things harder in the story. And my number 5 is Wind River. This is the movie about Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, as they are two investigators, or I guess she's the FBI investigator. He is more of just, I think, a sheriff in the movie. But they're... he's just a random... I don't even know.
He's Jeremy Renner.
He's Hawkeye, right? He left his bow at home, and they are investigating a murder of a young woman on a Wyoming Native American reservation. And in the actual like landscapes that they're dealing with are like actively fighting against them to make everything harder and harder to either get like resources to them, get like extra hands to
potions,
the scene to investigate. I hate you so much. Yo, they both are in Marvel movies. Holy shit!
They're in the same Marvel movies.
And yeah, I really like this movie. I think this is a really good murder mystery film that actively leans into the snowy landscapes. Ethan, give me your... Are you on 5 or... Yeah, you're on 5. Give me your 5.
I agree. This is where it really starts, really, really hitting home with that snow. David, do you ever what's the best thing about when it's like snowy winter outside? Do you like to kind of like warm up in like a nice hotel, maybe see a couple of twins, maybe have a bunch of blood run through the hallway? I'm talking Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
That's my number 4.
Wow. This movie, even more so than Prisoners, I think, deals with as it gets colder and colder, and the kind of fearsome snow is battling against the outside of the lodge. As that kind of increases, you also have this kind of bubbling insanity rising in Jack Nicholson's character.
Yes.
And the kind of duality of that leading to some of the scariest moments, at least that I saw when I was growing up on the big screen. You have like just that maze sequence running through the snow with an axe. Ooh. Stressful.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think it's even more than just like the increased snow mirroring Jack Nicholson's like craziness. I think it's like the entire film as a whole. Like the increase in snow adds into like the horror and terror that's happening in the hotel itself, like as a whole. And I think it's also really cool to see like this, like the hotel and the snow acting together to like push against like Scatman Crothers' return to the hotel, and like fighting against like Danny in the maze, as you say. Yeah, it's a great pick, really good pick.
Thanks.
Really good movie.
Hey, glad you approve of it.
Thank you. I would put it like a little higher, like maybe like I don't know, number 4, but like I will do, I guess.
Now here's where it gets controversial, because my next pick, people are gonna be mad that it's above The Shining.
What's your
because it's not one that normally people would make an argument saying is better than The Shining. Ruben Olsted's Force Majeure.
Oh.
The whole central plot of this is you have a married couple and their kids going on vacation to a ski lodge. And after a avalanche, adds a level of like fear of death to them, their marriage starts to really kind of tear apart. In this kind of like dry comedic way that also has a lot of drama kind of seeped into it. Literally the entire plot rests on the act of snow.
I'm actually kind of surprised that this isn't even higher on your list. Like, my number 3 is a movie I was wrestling with putting a little bit higher, but I settled with 3. And that is Sam Raimi's A Simple Plan. So this movie takes place... Actually, I don't know where it is.
An often discussed film on our podcast.
It is, and it's weird because
weirdly enough,
I've only recently seen this too. Like, this was a first impression not that long ago for me. It was a backlog. But this movie follows 3 friends, I guess, acquaintances, you may say, and as they stumble across a duffel bag or a downed plane that contains a duffel bag, a plane that contains a duffel bag,
bag that contains a plane that contains a simple plan.
Well, the funds within the duffel bag may be enough to buy the plane, as they find like millions of dollars in cash. And the really interesting part that landed this so high is the way that they have to interact with the snow. Like, their footprints leading out to the woods to where the plane is actively contradicts the story that they may tell people who stumble across them, because they like when they initially pulled over to like check on their car, and so like when they're like, oh, we're just looking at our car, and then they're like, well, what's going on with these footprints over here, and they're like trying to cover that up, and it's just really interesting to be like to see this extra layer like laid on top of this mystery and this lie that they're trying to cover up. How many times did I say cover up and lie there?
That's fine. I forgive you.
And lay? Like 10? 12? I don't even know. Give me your number 3.
My number 3 is the Coen brothers film Fargo. Our opening scene of Fargo, you see a white screen.
Snow.
It is completely snow. You slowly start to make out a car driving along and some birds flying around. This is a film that really knows all of the parts of snow. You have certain standout sequences, like when William H. Macy's character is going out after being frustrated, goes out to his car and realizes he has to scrape all of the frost off the windows and kind of like completely breaks down emotionally while doing it. The snow is kind of ever present around everywhere. Obviously, when dealing with Fargo, North Dakota, and Bemidji, Minnesota, where most of the movie takes place is in Bemidji, a little bit in the Twin Cities, but you kind of see all of the little bits and pieces of everyday snow and how your emotions can seep in and out of that. And it's just a fucking banger of a film. It's so good.
I admittedly have to rewatch Fargo. I've only seen Fargo once, and it was probably like
So good.
7 years
So
ago.
good.
I know, I really liked it when I
I'm
saw it.
talking Frances McDormand. I'm talking Steve Buscemi. I'm talking Peter Stormare. And of course, William H. Macy.
That's like the only reason I left Fargo off the list is like I was like, I haven't seen it in so long, and I know I liked it. I just don't know if I can.
It's so good. If you can explain the snowy parts,
the importance of the snow. Yeah.
And also, when talking about the aesthetic of blood and snow, this movie has plenty of that as well.
Oh God, yeah, so good. One movie that I feel like Snow is an active player in a movie where there are loads of people playing the game of life. I don't even know. That is The Hateful Eight. I think this might be the most recent film on the list. Nope, it's not. Wind Rivers. This movie takes place in a not quite tavern, a shelter of sorts. An inn? Yeah, an inn, I would say.
Sure.
After everyone has been snowed in. So you open up with people on the road trying to outrace a oncoming snowstorm, and you end up in this inn, and as you're there, more people flood in, and slowly but surely everyone ends up being locked in, and the mystery of the actual movie unravels, and people learn out who other people are through their lies and deceptions. And then you just have like the ongoing like struggles of like going back into the outside and dealing with the wind or with the snow there and the harsh nature of that world. But you're also dealing with the worst nature of the people that are inside the inn. So solid movie. If we were ordering these lists in a order of preference, this would probably be lower. This would definitely be lower than number 2. But I think this is one where like snow is actively like one of the key parts of the film.
Absolutely. Hey,
is this?
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Do you know what place have lots of snow?
Minnesota.
No, further south.
South of Minnesota. South Dakota.
No, that's
Damn it.
That's to the side.
Well, that's
way
still south,
way
though.
further south.
Way further south. Florida.
Arguably the most south.
The South Pole.
Correct. In Antarctica. My number 2 is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yep.
Pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good.
So you have this American Research Center, basically this small home base that is surrounded by snow. Obviously, they're in Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
So snow is already an issue for them, dealing with it. But what if then a weird dog showed up and a helicopter was trying to destroy it?
Oh no, I'd probably be mad at the helicopter.
Like,
dogs are cool.
What the heck?
Yeah.
And they're like, what's up with
Did
this
you notice
dog?
anything weird
And
about the
then,
dog?
What if the dog, what if he got funky?
Funky dog? What are we talking about, funky dog?
He
started
is
dancing?
real funky, dude. Yeah, you got a shape-shifting alien, boys.
Oh no.
Yeah,
shit.
it's crazy.
Yes.
They do a lot of cool stuff with snow. The end scene in particular, in its use of snow, is very fascinating. They use cold and snow as like a weapon, as well as a defense at times. It's just a fucking absolute banger of a film.
Yeah, I love this movie. I think this movie like is the peak use of snow. Like where you have it where the snowfall is so thick that you have to like lay out like ropes to guide yourself from cabin to cabin. Now, this is also used in Hateful Eight. That's why these two are number 1 and number 2 for me, is because a lot of the things that are used in Hateful Eight, I think, are also used in The Thing, where you are making like just the journey to go from point A to point B, like a few steps across the path, is like very difficult and possibly life-threatening if you like fall off the rope guide that you're walking with. But the reason I put The Thing higher is because the level of importance of the snow is so high. Like mainly with the ending scenes. Like you couldn't have had those same scenes if it wasn't in like a snowy, cold atmosphere.
David,
Ethan,
I got another
what's your
film.
what's your number one? Is it gonna be The Day After Tomorrow?
No, God, no.
Oh.
This is a much older film. This is the 1925 film, The Gold Rush.
Oh, nice.
This is the Charlie Chaplin slapstick flick, all about a little tramp trying to join in on some gold rush in Canada. It is so funny. There's one sequence in a cabin where you have the blistering snow outside. Literally, when they open doors, they fly out the other side of the cabin. And you have a lot of back and forth, classic Chaplin slapstick going on. It's a blast from the past.
Classic
And
Chap.
it knows how to use gold.
Wait.
It is
Ethan,
a lot of fun.
Ethan, I think this is
Knows how to
our
use
top.
snow.
I was gonna say this is our top 8 movies of using snow, not gold.
Oh.
So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
Did you understand that?
All my movies
fuck,
had
there's
gold
one
in
more.
them. The golden god of C-3PO. Trying to think of any other ones that could have gold in them.
Well, that's gonna do it for our top 8 movies on. God, I was about to say gold. Holy shit! On snow, top 8 movies and their use of snow. That's really good snowy cinema. That could be a title. I don't know. Maybe
These are our wonderful selections of snowy cinema. Thank you so much for joining us.
I hope everyone had a great
list.
Hanukkah. This is our
I
episode
think
for
these are
Hanukkah,
both
so I
very
hope.
interesting lists. We only had one crossover? No, 2 crossovers.
Yeah.
Only 2 crossovers
Wait, what were
with
the
The
two?
Shining and The Thing.
Yeah.
Both great movies.
Yeah,
Check
really
these
good
out.
movies.
I love you. I hope anyone that celebrates Hanukkah had a very happy Hanukkah. With that just wrapping up recently. I hope everyone has just a happy season, holiday season. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay relaxed.
Subscribed. Oh,
Oh, that's fun. Stay subscribed. And if you're not already subscribed, whoa, David, look. A little snowflake, but it's a perfect round snowball instead, actually, is the better thing to do. There's a little snowball in the middle. You can click that to subscribe. And 2 squares of ice. One with more minisodes and one with snippets from our main show. Check all of that stuff out. I love you. Happy holidays.